Oh, I'm almost ready. I haven't started streaming yet. Oh, here we go. Hi. Hello again. Well, this is basically the second episode, but I'll call it episode 1. Episode 0 was last year. By last year, I mean last week. And so, yeah, basically, I wanted to sort of try something different going into this year. So the different thing that I'm trying is just doing a small sort of podcast, just to have a look, just to give my thoughts and everything. I did a cheeky little Prisoner Architect stream yesterday, in case you missed it. It's on my YouTube channel, Levelution. On the road to 500 prisoners, but yeah, so that's good. So this time, it's the first week was in the books last week. Second week of 2020, a new decade, and it's it's good. So as always, I'm always perusing the release date schedule so that I know what's coming up and see what's interesting me. And the first thing that I want to talk about is Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3 was released quite a few years ago, but it's getting it's getting a re-release. It's Warcraft 3 Reforged, and I'm definitely looking forward to it because it looks great here. Like this trailer I'm watching. So they've completely remolded everything as it says here. So make everything nice and shiny for the new generation, which is cool by me. I don't mind. And here's Vendor Rehack as well. What's up? This podcast is going out towards Mixer, VLive, YouTube, whatever. So if you stumble across it, feel free to say something in. And Vendor Rehack, I'm just checking out the Warcraft 3 Reforged, and it looks kind of good. Look good. So I was going to talk about that for a little bit because Warcraft 3 was definitely one of the. It's probably like the first game that I definitely wanted, saved up for, and it was just a lot of fun. And I did sort of replay the campaign for the channel. Oh, video. Yeah, apologies about that. I'll just turn it down a smidge.
All that was
turn it down a lot actually.
Which we put in to install.
Yeah. So basically, Warcraft 3 is maybe one of a really well-renowned RTS game, and it's the thing I like about its design is that it's like a lot of RTSs, they like to go really big, so it likes to put you in charge of so many different types of troops and large numbers, while in Warcraft it's not that big as compared to other RTS games. But I think it's what made it really stand out is sort of the micromanaging that you can do on the battlefield, and it kind of makes you think more about the individual unit. Because usually in RTS games, what I like to do is sort of just build up my forces and then sort of overwhelm the opponent and get through the game. With Warcraft 3, it kind of gives you the chance to do really individual strategies. Really sort of it makes you care more about each unit, their strengths and weaknesses, what's strong against what, and it's a more sort of intimate experience. And the story, of course, from Blizzard was always top notch. So I think it's absolutely fantastic that in 2020 it's going to get the recognition that this game deserves. And yeah, like I said, it's good. It's just like a facelift, really, because I don't think they made any kind of changes to the combat or the system. I mean, they've been tweaking it for years now, so it's not, it's not so much. It's not so much a big deal. I did see some gameplay footage before, and I wasn't 100% infused on it because I thought, yeah, it looks better, but it's kind of like I don't want to say generic, but it's just sort of like a lot of games look good basically, and it looks similar to those games. So it's sort of like, as you can see here, you can see like this has its own aesthetic. The character, the colors, they really pop here, and it's like, and I thought when I watched another game, not this gameplay trailer, I watched another person do a footage on it, and it looked a little bit washed out to me. But then I saw, but of course that was still in development, of course. So when I saw more recent footage, it looked quite decent. So yeah, I was very impressed with the way it looks. The day it comes out is, according to Wikipedia here, is the 28th of January. So I'm definitely going to be finishing this campaign in the runoff to it. So I've got that to look forward to, because I kind of want to play the campaign. It's the same thing I did with so that's the same thing I did with 2 Point Hospital. I finished Theme Hospital, and then I moved on to 2 Point, so I can sort of compare the two and everything. But of course, there was a lot more updated and changed in 2 Point Hospital than Reforged will be from Warcraft 3. And with that in the question, it sort of brings up the fact of whether we're going to be seeing re-releases of Diablo, StarCraft 2 maybe. Well, actually, scratch that. But scratch that last one. But I don't know, even Lost Vikings, who knows? Who will be getting an update next. So I definitely wanted to sort of talk about this, get other people's thoughts on it, because it's like, this is a game that was released a couple decades ago now. Like, literally, maybe like 2002, I think. Yeah, I think it was like 2002 when I first bought the game. And I was absolutely blown away by it. I was blown away by the story and the multiplayer. The multiplayer as well was so huge with this, because, you all probably know this already, but games like Dota and MOBAs like that, they all came from Warcraft 3, and that includes games like Plants vs Zombies, Tower Defense. The design came from these games, from like multiplayer games that I used to play. So it's crazy that in this day and age you can go to a stadium to see someone play Dota, and like there's like they get sponsorships, teams and stuff, and it's just like it all started from this game. So this is probably one of the most influential games of all time in that sense. So like I said before, I'm super happy that Reforge is going to give it so much new attention. There's a lot of really good YouTubers who still play Warcraft 3 multiplayer. To this day, you can still play Warcraft 3 multiplayer. There's still players on that server, skilled players, players that are just starting out, and there's even more now since this game's coming out. So it's going to be absolutely amazing to see that rejuvenated. And who knows? I've seen games made in this engine using the world editor that like are first-person shooters and platformers. It's absolutely insane. So I'm very thrilled for that's coming out. So definitely looking forward to that. Now another game that's coming out this month is Tokyo Mirage Sessions, an RPG that originally came out on the Nintendo Wii U. The reason I wanted to spotlight this is mainly because I had some thoughts on the Wii U itself. I have no idea why Nintendo released the Wii U, because I can't remember it being a good seller or a great idea, but it's sort of like because video game consoles cost quite a lot, you have to sort of really consider, what's coming out on this system. Am I going to, actually get any good use out of it? So Tokyo Mirage Sessions, when it originally came out, had me considering maybe I should get a Wii U. But I was just like thinking, why would I spend all that money just on one game when it is probably going to be ported to another platform within the next few years? And I think that's a question that's going to really have a huge impact on the industry. And sort of to explain further is this. This is an older article. This is an older article. This isn't the place you come for breaking news, but this is an article from last year, 2019. Quantic Dream is a game developer that's done Heavy Rain, Indigo Prophecy, Beyond Two Souls, and they've always been sort of PlayStation exclusive for a while. And also the game was out on PC, but they were mainly like considered PlayStation exclusive developer. And now that like the next game, Detroit, Human Detroit, I haven't played that one yet. That's another one they did that you might have heard of. But yeah, that's so according to this article, apparently they're moving to multi-platform. And I was thinking about this since the end of last year, that, you know, the whole sort of buying consoles and what's console exclusive and what's on the Xbox 360 is just becoming less and less relevant as we've gone throughout the decade. Because I find myself playing more sort of PC games these days, because I used to play a lot of games on the consoles. I had like a PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, and a Nintendo GameCube and a Nintendo Wii, because I just didn't want to miss out on a game. You know, I wanted to, because I like, at this point, I played so many video games that I'm constantly on the lookout for anything that's that looks a little bit different, or that's new, or that's people's talking about, so I can be part of the conversation, or I can enjoy it, or what have you. But what I've sort of discovered is that I have less and less reason to sort of do that. Because, of course, you can't blame the developer from like wanting to develop a multi-platform, because the more people that have access to your game, you know, the more sales you're going to make, and you know that's why anyone does anything. So it's just something that will make sense, but it's really, I don't know whether it's like a power shift back to developers rather than the publishers and the console manufacturers. Because if you're Sony or you're Microsoft or Nintendo, well, Nintendo, you don't have to worry, because your first party titles, you know, are always super popular and really relevant. Like, you know, Super Mario Maker, you know, huge hit last year. I think it was last year, or a couple of years ago. In any case, well, the new one came out last year, I think, the Super Mario Maker 2. But, like I said, look at the hype for any Zelda game that comes out. You know, you can't get this on PlayStation, but Skyrim you can play on the Switch if you really want to. But don't. If you're going to play Skyrim, please do on PC, because, you know, just do it for the mods. So, of course, so now that Tokyo Mirage Sessions is coming to the Nintendo Switch, I think that's going to be absolutely huge. It's, you know, it looked like a great game. Because it's an RPG, I kind of like did a media blackout for myself, so that I don't know what the story is going to be. So yeah, I'm definitely going to enjoy that. But that was sort of my thoughts on that, because because it's just sort of like, it's sort of strange, because like so many stuff is multi-platform, and it, you know, consoles now are just trying to become computers, because it's like I got FIFA 20 for Christmas, and I was really bummed out when I put it into the system and it had to load, and I was like, wow, back in the days I still have FIFA games where I can just throw in and start playing FIFA in literally within 3 minutes. I don't have to wait for this to download. But I guess that's just the way things are going. So, and I kind of brought this up last week in podcast episode 0, but you know, I haven't got an Xbox One. I have no reason to get one. And I know that if you're a Halo fan or Gears of War fan, then of course, you know, you got to play the game where the system is. But it's just like, wow, it's it's like I do, you know, I wish I could buy one, you know, but it's just like, what do I play on it? But I don't know, maybe we'll see this year. But I think I was going to do like predictions this year, and I don't want to spoil them, because they're coming up. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Tokyo Mirage Sessions. So the next game I want to quickly talk about is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, a new Dragon Ball Z game. And I know what you're thinking. There are so many Dragon Ball Z games, and they are. But I think you would agree that this one looks absolutely awesome. As always. Now, the thing about Dragon Ball Z, it's got the same sort of thing. It kind of never sort of... I don't know whether it's like restrictions placed on them, but they never sort of branch out to tell different stories using like... this is a jumping off point. You're always sort of reliving the anime show. By the way, the anime show is absolutely brilliant. You know, it's fine, but it's like it's always something about it where it's just sort of like it's the same story beats each time, and you know exactly what's going to happen. I mean, I guess it could be for a new generation, but this kind of looks like it's kind of looks like it is for like the Dragon Ball Z fans, because like it seems to have gone for a resurgence in this recently, because of course that movie came out, which was apparently quite good. Haven't seen that yet. I've seen the other movie that's currently on Netflix. So I think that is gonna be a thing quite soon. But yeah, so it looks pretty decent. I believe it's like an open world type game. So yeah, it looks. I don't know. It's Dragon Ball Z, I guess. I mean, I've got a few Dragon Ball Z games already that are basically the fighting games. That's something that everyone can enjoy. So yeah, I guess it's something that's quite interesting. Other stuff that's coming out. You got your AO tennis. I like a good solid tennis game. So that's something I might be interested in. Yakuza, I hear that's popular. Oddworld, well, that's all right. But the main thing is Walking Dead as well has got a game coming out this month. So a lot of decent games coming out. But if you're like me, you got a massive backlog of games as well. So you're always on the hunt for the next game to play. So I just wanted to highlight those 3 games and talk about the whole sort of idea of the video game industry coming streamlined. And I guess I can start going into sort of the predictions I sort of have for 2020. Now, I'm not a huge expert at all in the video game industry. I just follow the industry from a very far distance. And not even the last 2 years, in fact, I've sort of been... not keeping up, because I used to obsessively look for different kinds of news, developer news, because I was way into that sort of thing. But over the last couple of years, it was like combination of work and other stuff, where it's like I couldn't follow it as much closely as I would like to. But I want to sort of make some predictions. Why not? It's fun. And it'll be, if I'm right, I can take some pleasure from that. So the first thing I wanted to sort of predict is I kind of think that one of the most influential games from the last 10 years and last few years are sort of like the Dark Souls game. So I'm wondering if we're going to see a lot more sort of clones be announced for that. Of course you've got apparently the new consoles coming out this year, and I'm going to guarantee that both those consoles will have backwards compatibility for a few reasons. The main one being the amount of backlash they received last time with some of the announcement of their specs. The fact is, people have video game libraries, and I know that the Switch is coming, where most people's libraries are now digital instead of physical media. Like I myself, I think I'm coming to the point where I guess I would say like 30% of the games I own are digital. So, yes. Yeah. So vendor rehack agrees with me. Besides the PS5, well, I kind of think that because they got like such bad press from the previous time that they announced it, I think they're gonna have some kind of like backwards compatibility, whether it's linked to your PlayStation account, and so you can just sort of play older games. Because I think the fact that most games are digital, well, a lot of games are released digitally, and that's how people get their video games now. It's going to be much easier to sort of bring them forward, to sort of grandfather them into the new system. But that's sort of interesting. I also don't think that any console will be released this year. I don't know. I don't have a reason behind that, but yeah. Yep. PC Master Race. That's right, vendor rehack. That's I can't help but agree. I'm not biased in any sense, but PC will always be the best. I kind of think that yeah, you're not a console peasants. I'll tell you something. Artsy Croshaw, he should get paid every time someone uses like PC Game Master Race. But yeah, we're all joking. But yeah, wow, Cyberpunk 2077. Now some people think that that's not going to come out this year. I think it will. Maybe later on this year, but there you go. Lonely Solely says, I avoid digital when they can, and it gives them feeling of actually owning the game. I absolutely respect that, because that's the sort of feeling I have, mainly because like DVDs and stuff, like when you have Netflix, you kind of sort of assume that you have everything, but then when they take off your favorite program, you realize, maybe the DVD box set is the best. But yeah, I agree. I like physical media, and I use that to collect the games that I really like. But at the same time, I don't mind either way, especially if it's like a game that I'm gonna be sort of like, if it's an indie title, then there's no way to get it. But yeah, I do agree. I do agree with that. I do prefer good CDs. In fact, I think I was organising my PSP UMD list, which is pretty funny. PSP UMDs, that worked out. What else? What else have? What else should I predict? You know what? I'm going to make a bold prediction here. I think there's going to be a new sort of video game news outlet that's going to really come to prominence this year. Mainly because I think that there's a lot of talented people who aren't sort of working in the industry anymore, and they're doing their own stuff on YouTube, and it's not going to take too much for them to sort of get together and do something. So that's another prediction, I guess. I don't want to go too bold with it. I'm just going to keep it sort of vague. Lonely Solly again. If you suddenly have no internet or super slow internet, downloading games isn't going to happen, but having a disc avoids that. And then Venny Recap, the best game of this year is going to be Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal. Well, yeah, like I said, I think that's always the same argument with cloud computing. I mean, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the cloud itself, in terms of like having your information on another computer somewhere, because it's just sort of like, that's, to me, that's kind of going backwards. But, well, in terms of internet speed, I think it's only getting better. I mean, I'm not sure about all areas, but they're always looking to put down stuff as well to put down more internet cable to do it. So I think Google has like a project that they do that. I think Google optical cables, fiber optic cables. Yeah. I think like Google Fiber Optic as well is like is constantly putting stuff down. But yeah, it's still going to be super competitive. I think internet connection speeds and stuff like that is only sort of getting better at the moment. But yeah, but you're absolutely right as well, because some people just don't have access to that sort of internet speed. But yeah, but Vendor Rehack has brought up the subject of what will be game of the year and everything. I guess my thought at the moment, I think Yakuza 5 is going to be huge as well. I'm definitely looking forward to that one in February. That's coming out. I'm just perusing this list here. Yeah, well, Persona 5 Royale, as well. Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, there's a lot of discussion of whether that's actually going to come out this year, and I actually do think it will. I mean, like I said, video games can always sort of get delayed, but I kind of think that they're ready. I kind of think it's ready, and it's a game that I'm really looking forward to, because it's I like to get my claws into a really cool RPG that that has a really amazing setting, really good systems to sort of be a part of and everything. So I think Cyberpunk 2077 holds that promise, and I don't think CD Projekt Red has put a foot wrong yet. In that sense, I think they're very solid designers. They make really good games. I think The Witcher 3 was a really good hit. I think it sold well as well. But yeah, but we'll see about that. But if I had to pick a game of the year, I think I would put my money on Cyberpunk 2077 at the moment. I mean, Doom, of course, is Doom. Like I said, I didn't see Doom coming when that game came out. I thought it was just going to be sort of, just a first person shooter, but people really enjoyed that game. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. In terms of new consoles or that's coming out, I'm wondering if if mobile gaming is going to take a huge forward leap this year, but we'll see. Yeah, the music as well. Music as well is going to be excellent. An all-time roll. Yeah. But in terms of what genre is going to be prominent this year, I don't think there's going to be much of a change. I think we're just going to be seeing a lot of the same things in terms of your third-person shooters, your platformers, and tons of sequels. So, check this out. 2 Point Hospital coming out for Nintendo Switch and Xbox. That's so good for them. Oh, lore. Yeah. I love lore in video games. I think it's one of the things that really make me stick with a series, like Warcraft 3, for example. The lore is absolutely tremendous. I remember many years ago for school, we could bring in anything we wanted to read, so I just printed off this entire sort of this lore that I found online about Warcraft 3, and I brought that in, and people enjoyed it because it was well written. So that's the power of good lore. But yeah, definitely good for 2 Point Hospital. I think it's difficult to sort of port games like this onto consoles because you're never going to be a mouse and keyboard. You're never going to be a mouse and keyboard for many things. I think it's the greatest interface that you can have for a computer, and I think that even beats out the sort of anything else. I mean, I don't know what developments are going to happen in the future, but that for sure is going to be absolutely that for sure is going to be a leap for them. But I've seen some games, Tropico. I think Tropico 5, you could get that for consoles, and I think that controls pretty good from what I've seen. But like I said, if you don't try out the game yourself, then you just don't know. Either way. But yeah, it's a early pick for Game of the Year. I mean, you know that the regular game industry is going to be definitely going to give this some love, thanks to our good friend Keanu Reeves, Mr. John Wick. By the way, I just want to take this moment just to pay respect to our Lord and Savior Keanu Reeves for just absolutely killing it in literally 2 decades. In the end of the 90s, it was The Matrix. He was Neo, and then he's John Wick. This decade, I don't know what he has in store for us next, but that is pretty good. So Street Fighter 5 Champions Edition, the latest iteration. Oh, the Final Fantasy VII remake is coming out in March. I'll cover that soon, a bit later on, because I don't get me started on Final Fantasy, because I'm only going to be on for 15 more minutes. But yeah, but in terms of predictions, that's just my general sort of feelings on it, because it doesn't feel like that this year is going to be anything sort of extremely special. Because I know, because like I said, I already predicted for the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox console, I don't think they're going to launch this year. I just have a feeling. I don't know why, but I just don't feel like it's going to launch. I kind of feel like they're going to hold that back for some reason, but I don't know, probably wrong. Hey, if I'm wrong, we get new consoles. If I'm right, then I look like a genius. Okay, yeah, so this is the one I spotted as well. No More Heroes 3. Need I say more? I really hope that comes out this year, because super fan of No More Heroes. I've got literally different versions of the same game. Like, I've got the Japanese import of No More Heroes 2, No More Heroes 1, and great. Psychonauts 2, has that not come out? Sorry, 1 second. I just completely forgot about that. Anyone remember Psychonauts? Psychonauts 2. Okay, I predict Psychonauts 2 to come out this year. Sorry, let me just have a quick look. Thank you for Meteorite Games for sharing the video. Oh, No More Heroes or Psychonauts? Because No More Heroes, it's a real good hack and slash game. Basically, this guy gets this beam sword in the mail, and then he decides to become an assassin, and it's very good. Okay, yeah. So so basically he gets a beam sword, and like I said, and becomes an assassin, and so he goes out and he competes with other assassins to become the #1 assassin, and it was really good use of the Nintendo Wii, because the first thing anyone does with a Wii is like use the remote as a sword, as a lightsaber. So No More Heroes was definitely part of that, and it's absolutely nuts. Well, if you get a chance, Fender Rehack, give it a chance. And I say that to everyone as well. Give No More Heroes 1 a chance, because it's still pretty good. I think you can get it for most systems. Let me confirm that. Let me just confirm that. I think you can get it for most stuff. Have a look here. Well, yeah, you can definitely get. I have it for the PS3, so if I can get it for the PlayStation, you can get it for pretty much anything really. Yeah. So you get PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PlayStation. I don't think PlayStation 4 is. If you have a PlayStation 4 Xbox, then you probably could get this on. Download it or something, but I think you can get it on Steam as well. I don't know. Let's have a look. Might as well. Get it for Steam. Yeah, you can. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there it is. You can get it for Steam. Don't take my word for it. Very positive reviews. All reviews, very positive. 71. Come on. Yeah, you're right. PC Game Master Race. Yeah, but it's crazy. It's the game's kind of nuts, but wow, complete edition. Sorry, getting distracted here. Okay, don't worry. I own too many copies of this game, so I'm just gonna click off here before I buy it again. Uh, but yeah, I was looking at Psychonauts 2. Yeah, I donated towards. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but the designer of this game is a guy called what's his name? Oh, he looks like Jack Black. Oh, wait, it's probably here. Tim Schafer, that's it. And Tim Schafer does look like Jack Black. So Tim Schafer, he had a Kickstarter for a game called I'm blanking on these names, but he had for this game that I did put money into, and I wasn't entirely happy with what came out of it. It kind of disappointed me, the game, but that's what you do when you back something on Kickstarter. That's just the way it goes. Sometimes you don't get what you like. But when they announced Psychonauts 2, I was just like, yes, 100%. I think Psychonauts is probably one of the best platformers that I've ever played. I did play it for the channel, I think, the first game. Let me just check. But yeah, so if Psychonauts 2 comes out this year, I might give that for I might give that the game of the year, because that's always been so impressive. I'm certain that I used to play. Okay, maybe I deleted it. Oh, if I spelled it right. There we go. Yeah, I did play a little bit of it. So yeah, I'm just gonna show off Psychonauts here, because it deserves it. It's a very like interesting like platform, because you're basically a guy. You're a kid with psychic abilities, and you go to this camp to become a psychonaut, which is sort of like a super soldier basically. So it's a real fun game, because like most of it is about going into people's dreams. I know that's completely original concept. I mean, this is before Inception, so whatever. So you go into people's brains, and then you basically do platforming levels in there. It's a collectathon as well, so it's super fun. It is. But yeah, Psychonauts 2. That's gonna be an absolute hit, because it's gonna be like Tim Schafer able to do what he wants, and I'm always for game developers to have as much control over the game as possible. I mean, I don't mind them being kept to some kind of schedule, because some video game developers would never release their work if if they had the choice. So, yeah, like I said, I'm absolutely thrilled that this coming out soon. And I guess that's it really. But also, what I wanted to say as well, that this year as well, I made a New Year's resolution to sort of pursue game design, create more time for it. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing with RPG Maker. That's a very good piece of software to sort of learn game design. I'm also learning programming as well, but I'm not going to stream that, because that's, at least with RPG Maker I can. There's some interest in that. There's some good stuff about that, I think. But watching me trying to learn how to program and just go over the same stuff again and again and try and fix bugs and stuff, that's not going to be interesting to watch. But I'm definitely going to be doing more RPG Maker. Now, in terms of the rest of this week, I'm going to probably not be on Wednesday, but definitely I'm going to be back with Prison Architect on Thursday, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, it should be shaping up to be a pretty good week. Once again, Greedfall is awesome. Play that. But I'm gonna run this one a little bit short. But yeah, thanks Vendor Rehack and who else? dropped by. Lonely Solely as well for dropping by. Second episode of the Levelution podcast. Just a talk and wrap about games. But yeah, thank you very much for stopping by, everyone. And I'll see you in a bit.